So we are here for the CAST conference. Uh, can you tell us what's your impression about all the debate about the caste system that's happening in this country, especially in Fremont and California?
Yes, I'm Teresa Cox. I'm the Fremont Vice-Mayor. And one of the things that I came here today is to help educate myself about the caste,
Mhm.
but also what is relating to the civil rights movement, which was talked about by some of the earlier speakers, as Dee Slade had referred to, and also to be able to be a better person to serve the community because I represent Fremont, which is close to 60, 70%
Mhm.
Asian Americans, especially Indians,
Mhm.
and that it is my duty to be educated, but also to help make decisions that will reflect equity in our community, diversity, and inclusion. And the other part of it is how does this create another discrimination type category, or is it something that's already on our books that has been around for over 30, 40 years, or more than that, I'm sorry, of the Civil Rights Act that came to being, that you can't discriminate anyone on race, religion, anything that was the orientation, all the things that make everyone unique.
So why do you think this is happening? Do you need a second, another category of this for discrimination, fighting and
Well,
discrimination?
at this point, I've always believed that with the civil rights that we do have, that was something that was strong held from the start of Dr. Martin Luther King helping to bring those initiatives through. I think that right now, with our Civil Rights Act, that it's something that addresses what has been dividing our community. I think that part of it is just having fairness and people at the table now, especially when you're looking at education and in the schools, things like that, that we teach about what is the accuracy of the information being put in the books, but also as leaders looking and evaluating. See, that SB 403 bill is actually not something that is under the direction of us as city council members. It's actually outside of our scope as approving things like that, because that's something that's done at the state level. I'm at the local city government level. However, I do want to make sure that Indian Americans do feel that they are valued here in our community, and they've made significant contributions to our community to help it a better place. Silicon Valley is the home to so many thousands and thousands of Indians that have made a difference here in our community and partner together with other communities that we have been able to build a better community. And when they look to California, they look for us for innovation. They look for us for creating solutions. So we've got to get a hold of it now here in California because this is where it's starting. But if we don't deal with it correctly, it's not going to be a success for those in California and for the rest of the United States.
You interact with the Indian Americans in Fremont quite frequently. You are friends with them. Uh, this caste-based issue, uh, SB 4304 and other issues, has created a lot of anger and disturbance within the community, as you must have been feeling. The conference today is also part of that. So, what is your own feeling about it, on the caste issue that being raised? Do you think there is a discrimination on caste-based discrimination in your city?
I think at this point, there's different groups, right? Some feel yes, it's discriminatory, others say no. What I have to look at is what is the law and what we have currently to be able to move forward on this. And so I know that there's been cases of the Cisco employee that had gone through the lawsuit to sue their manager, and however, it was dismissed because there wasn't enough grounds on basis of what that lawsuit started. Uh, and so I have to look at everything at this perspective. I'm not trying to take sides. I'm just trying to figure out how does this impact us and being able to move forward as a community. Right now, there's a lot of polarization. There is a divide on, I call it the haves and what is perceived as have-nots. And I know from being an Afro American that there's always been discrimination, even going back to slavery days, to even when I was valedictorian, to be valedictorian of my own high school class, that there was a discrimination because they never had a black Afro American
Right.
be first in their class.
Mm.
So having that, and my family has worked. My uncle
Mm.
is a doctor, and he opened his first practice with an Indian doctor, which was unheard of back in Ohio. So I come from a long standing of supporting those in the community, equally talented, equally smart, educated, and we can work together. And that's where I'm trying to find the solutions today, is how can we work together and move forward on this. But the time is always right to do the right thing, as Dr. King has always said. Also, on the building
Mm.
of Fremont, we have 3 Afro American women. Our city manager, myself as the first elected Afro American elected in almost 70 years, now serving as Fremont Vice-Mayor. The third is we have Coretta Scott King, which I fought to make sure her values are on this building, that where you're doing your interview today. It is talking about the greatest value of the community. It's its members serving with love and grace. And that's what we've got to work through on this part of this cast, and understanding that, and how does it impact the discrimination that is possibly could occur or continue to occur. I'm not to try to be a decision or a judge on that, but what I'm trying to find is a solution as person that is a policymaker here in the city of Fremont. That if I hear of any discrimination, absolutely not. We can't have people. It's like 4 little girls that we cannot discriminate on the basis of your on the skin color of your skin, but it's got to be on the content of your character. So we've got to move forward with this and find a solution. And I'm just being educated a lot more in depth today with your wonderful speakers that are here um, from CASCON, and certainly hearing firsthand of what Mother or Dee Slade had to say, and the things that have brought out. And I've always said is that, are we down with Brown? It means down with the brown people, but it's also trying to find, how can we find equality here and inclusion, and not exclude people based on things, because you have success records. You have the chairman of the CEO of Google came from a side that was, because of his drive and determination, he made it to the top as CEO of Google. You have the president of India right now. She is the first that has brought out that things can make a difference, and it's in your leadership, it's in your character, it's in the hard work. Because I believe that if you are a person that stays positive, you work hard, you can make it happen. And these are prime examples that contradict the different things that are happening as what can be portrayed in our community. And there's a lot of successes and more to come. And I'm here even also as appointed by the current administration. I've been with the administration for 3 years, from since Obama, Trump, and now with Biden, to help eliminate the barriers for people to do international trade and to be able to be successful. So I've got to be one, and also as a Fremont Vice-Mayor, but also I work for the county of Santa Clara, the largest county, one of the largest in the nation, that drives the innovation with the Googles, with the Apples, with the Microsofts, the LinkedIn's, all right here in our Santa Clara community. How can we do better to make a difference here in our community and be fair and equitable?
Great. Thank you so much.